Welcome back to the God of Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. I'm here with Rick the Ruler, Triple M, and Don Juan of Knicks Fans Wildin', and of course the big bro, Andre.
Yeah.
What's going
What
on, man?
are
How
you
y'all doing?
pouring over there?
Yeah, you hear him pouring something. It must have been a good game. You got you out here pouring
No, that
something
wasn't
up.
a good game. That wasn't a game.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm glad we got a W.
I'm glad we got the W too. So Knicks won 106 to 100. We beat the Los Angeles Lakers, and that was probably the most frustrating win of the season for me. Because we were up 25, and then they made it a game, of course, as usual. The Knicks make it a game after being up by 20 plus. It happens like on almost every game now. It's annoying. So let me get some stats up here real quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at.
You're not going to introduce, I guess?
I did.
You did?
Did you miss it?
I mean,
names.
You
ain't saying hi.
Yeah, all right, so let's do this.
It's a little quick. It's a little quick. We've been in the building.
It was quick.
Yeah,
Let's do this right. Because that's on me. See, this is Cuzzo. This is why.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? This is why you're here.
You coming here eating.
Yeah, check me out. We have our guest here from Knicks. You crazy. Knicks Fans Wildin' in the building. Triple M and Don Juan. How y'all doing, fellas? Formally.
You already know the vibes. Knicks Fans Wildin' in the building. Thanks for the invite. My guy Dre, Rick, and Apollo. Good to be back. You already know. And after a good win, what else better to do than to be up here on God of Knicks?
Come on, see.
Right. Glad it was a win.
Well, sir, thanks for having us again. I mean, it hasn't been the prettiest season, but we take it at the end of the day. So what is it? 10-8 right now, compared this to last year, we was nowhere near this and even with no expectations. We could still win 40 games right now. We still on pace for that. So we good, man. I'm remaining patient, and I hope everyone is too, because it's a long season.
Yeah, things gonna turn around after that trade.
Talking trades now.
Nah, man. I think something I think is gonna happen just for the chemistry, but I don't think it's gonna be anything major. I don't think it's gonna be anything major. Anything that happens, it'll be very, very minor.
You think it's chemistry?
I definitely think it's chemistry. Absolutely. I mean, they look better tonight. Maybe they had.
You're gonna have a night where it looks good, but the second quarter, nothing looked good. We didn't score for like 7-8 minutes or something like that.
It was disgusting. It was completely disgusting. Well, you mean the second quarter or the third quarter?
Second quarter.
Yeah.
They had like 61 for like ever. They were like 61.
That's the third though, no?
Yeah. You sure that wasn't the third? Because it was the third quarter. Because they went on
they were sitting on 60, 61 forever.
At one point they went on a 19-3 run.
61. Yeah, 21-2.
Yeah, 21-2. Yeah, that was.
It started in the second. Yeah, it was nasty.
It was pretty bad. It started at the end. Of course, yes. That's what you're referring to is the end of the second quarter, going to the half, when they lost the lead and they went down. I think they were only up by 12 at the end, which was crazy because Reggie Miller, during the game says they were only up by. No, they were still up by like 22 at that point. And he says if they can just get it down to 12 and then make it respectable, then going into the half. And then, of course, literally they went down by 12.
They tied the game up. I don't think they ever got the lead. They tied the game up.
I think they
leads.
They didn't get the lead?
They tied it twice. But
they tied it twice. Yeah. So that was crazy. And of course the tying basket was Melo's dunk. But he couldn't hit a shot.
Nobody can hit a shot. Lakers, everybody look horrible out there.
Yeah, it was the start of the third was tough to watch. I mean, they just missed like 10 shots in a row, coming back and forth. Knicks missing, Lakers missing. It was a nasty start of the third, and figures because both teams are terrible third quarter teams. It was looking like who was going to be the worst third quarter team, and it was the Knicks obviously today.
Yeah, and as usual, you kind of expect it at this point. I was looking around like I wonder how they're gonna mess this up, but they showed it. They showed it.
Lo and behold, they did, but recovered.
But they recovered. Thank God. So shout out to the chat. Still Knicks fans. Guard up Knicks with guests. Let's go. Yes, sir. Toxic Knicks fans. And he said, yo, y'all got a crazy echo. My bad. Bring that back up. What's going on here? Come on the screen. Yeah, y'all got a crazy echo, DJ Clue style. And still Knicks fan said once again, he said, salute to Apollo, Rick, and my man Dre sipping on a Cavasse with the pinky out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the pinky out. There you go, the pinky out.
Yo, cheers, Dre. Cheers, Dre.
There you go.
You got the Coors Light. Got the Coors Light.
That's the gas. That's the gas. We don't drink Coors, you know. It's the gas.
That's the gas.
That's the fuel for the win. Fuel for the win. Right. So let's get some stats on the screen here so we can look at what the hell went on here.
Yeah, we missed Derrick Rose for sure tonight.
We definitely missed Derrick Rose. Yeah. We missed Mitch. We definitely looked pretty. It looked bad. It looked bad, of course, for a certain amount of time. So let's start here with my man Evan Fournier.
Yes.
Shout out Evan Fournier.
Finally. I mean, and if you look at his minutes distribution, he had the most.
I don't think he sat in the second half. He played the whole.
I think he was out there to prove a point too, to himself and to the coach. Like, listen, you can't sit me in the fourth quarter anymore. You know what I mean? That's something that I think
it wasn't his choice to get all those minutes. I think, with D Rose out, I think the coach was like, "Yo, you got to do these minutes. You got to get these."
That too.
But he showed up.
Yeah. He
paid that man $80 million. He got to show up right now.
You better show up.
You better show up.
I think they probably got him on display. They be like this, yo, we got a piece for y'all. What y'all want?
Hey man, but let's not be so harsh on Evan as far as better showing up. I mean, thankfully he showed up. He won us this game today. He showed us why the Knicks gave him $78 million. I mean, it's been confusing all these other games, but he showed you, especially in the Boston game 1. And now this game, if he gets hot, I mean, this just changes the dynamic of the Knicks team because you got a shooter out there that can really let it fly, and you got to protect that. And he could dribble. He drove a couple times.
Creates his own shot.
Yeah, so shout out to Evan today, man. For sure. Got to show love.
And I think it's confidence with Evan. What are you gonna say, Rick?
I was gonna say this is the Evan that I personally have been waiting for.
Right.
I mean, this is the reason why he was here to get these points, to be a shooter, to be a scorer. We needed somebody outside of Julius Randle to put shots up, and I think this is what he did tonight, and we got the win. So what does that say?
Yeah, especially because last game he was what? 1 of 7, I believe, or 2. Was it 2 of 7? I believe.
I think he did all right the last game.
No, versus Chicago.
No, he had a pretty good game against Chicago. I think.
Was it Chicago or was it
3 points against?
Oh no, yeah.
It was 1 for. He was 1 for 7 versus Chicago.
Yeah, these games are too bunched up, man.
So it was. Yeah. But this is a nice bounce back game. 8 of 14 from the field, 6 of 9. From 3, 6. Another game with another Knick with 6 threes. The last time I think it was Alec Burks. 4 for 4 from the free throw line. 26 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and he was just out there doing what he's supposed to do. Just go out there and hit those shots. If they close out on you, create a shot. Get inside the lane. There was a few times where they closed out in the shot, and like you said, he had some creation off the dribble and created off the mid range and had a nice floater from the midi. And that's really what we need at this point. I don't think they're utilizing the mid range as nearly as much as they should. I think there's a heavy emphasis on threes, which is okay. But as long as you're hitting them, if you're not hitting those threes, it kind of looks bad. It looks like we looked for most of the season.
Yeah, man, for sure. But Apollo, look at the stat right here all the way at the end, plus and minus. I mean, look at the Knicks bench. Just go from Obi, Burks, quickly. It's just a recurring theme with this team, man, for sure.
Bench should be starting, and the starter should be bench.
Right.
It's crazy because I was talking to somebody earlier about it, and they said one of the positives about the Knicks is quickly, and I'm like, well, the bench is the only positive that I've really been seeing in terms of chemistry and how they've been playing. You know what I mean? And the starting unit, especially the way they start the third quarters. I don't know what it is about these third quarters. They have to figure it out. Like, and it's the start of the third. They usually finish pretty well, but it's the start. If they could just get off to better starts in the third quarter, especially with the way they finish games. And I think sometimes I think it's schematic in a way, because if you look at a lot of our games, we usually have our best quarters in the second and fourth quarter. It's usually our best quarters. And it's like he wants to end the half great, but ease into the game. You know what I mean? In a way. I don't know why I've noticed that trend, but
that's you're right.
You could say that a lot of it's due to the bench, honestly, because that's their bread and butter time. You know, that's when they take advantage. Yeah. As of late, we've seen Tibbs kind of stretch out those minutes even more, where he's bringing out the starters. He's bringing out the starters like later into the fourth quarter. Yeah. But you know that I think that's the main reason why we're looking so good at those times. But something's got to give. I mean, these third quarters are just haunting us.
Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think when Randall picked up that fifth foul early in the fourth, I was like, oh man, like things might get shaky. But I mean, we actually played extremely well when he sat down. I mean, it's just like the ball starts moving more freely. It's just not Randall ISO ball and all that stuff.
This is what I'm saying about Randall. I was hoping that he was going back. He had him out there, in my opinion, too long. Because, like I said before we started, I just think that everybody's standing around waiting to see what Randall going to do. Yeah. And I just think that that's a problem, because, you know, no matter who's out there, it's like, let's see what Randall's going to do. Let's see what Randall. And like I said this before, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Randall gets on that side with Fournier, and they go back and forth. They pass it back and forth. They don't look to the other side and then they do like the dangerous across the floor pass. So they pass it all the way to the other side of the floor
with 3 on the shot clock.
Yeah, and it's like late in the shot clock. And it's like Randall's holding it like too long. He runs out of options. Then he decides to pass it. It's like almost like everybody's an accessory to what he's gonna do. If he don't have it, they'll give it away. If they don't have it, they give it back to him. And it's like there's other guys on the floor, and then guys end up standing like the positioning. So when Randall's on that side of the floor with Fournier or whoever it is, it's like the other 3 guys go all the way to the other side of the court. Nobody's at the top of the key. It's like nobody wants to help. It's like they scared to get in that. It's like they don't. The chemistry is like so bad where it just looks like then they're afraid to get in the way, or they afraid to like. I don't know what the play is.
I mean, and that's kind of why I've always been frustrated with a lot of the actions that I've seen, because, you know, and this is not to beat up on Tom, because I mess with Tom. You know what I'm saying? Tom's my guy. But if you watch other teams, i.e. like the Warriors or any other team with an offensive coach, you see a lot of the actions on the opposite end of the court just to create something, just in case something happens. You know what I mean? If you like, you can play a 2-man game on the right side of the floor, as long as the other 3 guys aren't just standing there, because what it does is it allows the defense to cheat into the paint a little bit and cheat to that right side and not allow you to. Now you're really playing essentially 2-on-5 at that point. You know what I mean? Because now the rest of your guys are camped out behind the 3-point line and they're not moving. It's, you know, you're making it easy for the defense. So I always liked to, and that's one thing about the triangle. You don't want to go there, you know. I don't go there. But that was one thing about the triangle, that people love, and that's why there's still aspects of the triangle being ran in today's game, because there's a lot of actions off ball that need to happen just to create, you know, easier baskets for guys. But anyway, Julius Randle still had 20 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 7 for 17 from the field. 1 for 5 from 3, but he was 5 for 8 from the free throw line. And that's been my most frustrating thing with Julius Randle, is these free throws. And it's just, I don't understand why he just can't hit them consistently. It's like a 1 for 2 every time he's at the line. Almost.
Every time. Yeah. Or 0 for 2.
Especially in big moments, man. I mean, he missed big moments. He missed one. I thought he was gonna miss both, but he missed one right there last minute. They intentionally fouled him, and you gotta make those.
Yeah, that would have put the game out of reach. I think that we would have been up 7 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And he left the door wide. And Reggie Miller said it. He said he left the door wide open.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Reggie was trying to jinx us all game. No funny.
I feel like they jinx us like every game.
He was like, I've seen crazier things happen at the Garden. Knicks up 10 with like 30 seconds.
No, well, he was talking about himself there.
He was. Now that you mentioned it, he's definitely gassing
his own horn.
Yeah, he was talking about himself.
Yeah. I don't know, but gladly we took care of business tonight because there was definitely a moment where it looked like, this game is in the bag.
It's never in the bag with the Knicks.
Yeah, never felt that way.
No. I mean, it was in the bag for the Lakers. That was how I was feeling. It's like especially once Anthony Davis gets going. Because once AD gets going, everybody feeds off of him. He's hard to guard. He's impossible to guard half the time, depending on who you have.
Nobody really got going.
Westbrook really took off, man. Like he was just literally just going in and doing layups.
Every time we play somebody who never shoots, knocking Westbrook, all of a sudden he's 66 from the free throw line. He 100%. You know what I'm saying? He's shooting. He knocking down threes from everywhere. It's like, yo, you can usually leave him open. It's like everybody come to the Garden want to have his best game of their life.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was honestly surprised that nobody went crazy like every team usually has. I mean, with no record-setting numbers. I mean, Westbrook had a great third quarter, but that was him just driving and attacking.
I thought Malik Monk
he made some threes though. He made some threes, but honestly, that was the one team that I saw that because we left them wide open, they weren't even making shots. It was a lot. There was a lot of guys with wide open shots, or if not enough space to make the shot. Man.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Carmelo Anthony. He was 3 for 14.
He had a lot of open looks.
You know what I mean?
Especially in the fourth.
Yeah. He had 2 shots, I believe, in the first. Was that in the first half? Yeah, I believe he made those 2. I think he made, because I know he made that dunk that tied the game late. And then he couldn't make anything else after that. So I think
made a 3 in the fourth. He made a 3.
He did make it 3. Oh yes, that's right. That's right. So Melo only made 3 shots tonight, and I'm sure nerves had a lot to do with that. It had to. Like I don't know what it was. Maybe it's him playing in the Garden. Maybe him and Spike had money on the game or something. I don't know because the way he was missing, it looked crazy out there.
Yeah. I think he caught a couple air balls. You see Malik Monk, because I thought Malik Monk was gonna go off. He was like that guy that was gonna come in there. I just thought it was gonna be him. He knocked one down. I was like, nah, all right, y'all got to get on that cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But like you see it here. He was 1 for 7. I didn't realize it was that bad. Then Avery Bradley looked like he was about to have a career.
He was the one. He was the one. If it wasn't for Avery Bradley, they wouldn't have came back because it was him. It was him that really led that charge.
This game could be really different if the Lakers hitting their shots. And I can't believe they let the Knicks. I thought they, like you said, I thought they had it in the bag. I thought they were just going to catch up, do their thing, because the Knicks looked bad at certain spots.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looked like they were doing just enough. And then historically how they let it go.
Right.
So I'm thinking historically they were just going to drop the ball there.
Mm-hmm.
But Fournier did his thing. It kind of looks like it was one of those games that was ugly for both teams. I'm just happy we came out with the W because we got a rough calendar ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Quickly, man, made some big threes in the fourth, man.
Shout out to Quickly. Toxic McFan said that earlier in the chat. He said start quick.
I love Quick off the bench, man, for real. I feel like we need that change of pace with Quick, man. He just brings that different dynamic off the bench. I actually love Quick and Rose off the bench. I mean, I don't think Kemba's our star PG, but I really don't want to flip-flop any of those two because they just come and there's no better backcourt bench, and that's we have that advantage every game we have that advantage, and that's why we excel, like we mentioned earlier, at the end of every quarter, because that's when the bench is coming in.
You also got to mention the connection that Obi and IQ have. I mean, those guys always looking for each other, and I'm not sure what it is with them. They definitely were working in the summer because the proof is in the pudding, man. These guys are balling out every time.
The way Obi moves without the ball, like I just love his style of ball.
Amazing.
Yeah,
basketball. He's out there getting alley-oops. He's you know what I mean? Like he's cutting to the basket. Mm-hmm. Nothing's going on up top. He looks and he identifies. You see him run. He be pointing up. That dude was a
mid-range
sprinter.
today.
That
Too.
alley-
It looked
He
nice.
had the mid range today.
Yeah, yeah.
He need to do that a little more.
Was that the dish off? Was
That's
that the
what we
dish
was
off from
saying.
Quickly?
Yeah.
Quickly, so Quickly had a huge game. 14 points. And it wasn't even just about how many points he had, of course, but 14 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 for 8 from the 3-point line, 4 for 9 from the field. So he literally took one other shot outside of a 3-pointer. But Quickly, he came in and he was just like a torch. You know what I'm saying? He was like the Human Torch, and just went crazy. I think what was it? 3 straight threes he had in the fourth.
Yeah, 3
because he had a heat check. I think it was like 2. Then he had the heat check, and he missed that one, and then I think he made another one.
Was the first one? Was the first one that rattling one?
Was 4.
Well, he had 2 friendly
rattling
bounces. He had one that had 2 friendly bounces.
He
had 2 friendly bounces.
He had 2 or 2 friendly bounces. That's right. Yeah.
You know what I found most impressive today from Quick? I feel like he didn't start. He got hot in the fourth quarter, like we mentioned, but in the third, he came in late in the third, and he made a couple errors and mistakes and turnovers. And just seeing the confidence from Tibbs to finally leave him out, because Tibbs be yanking players.
He'll pull him
as soon
quick.
as they make a mistake, he'll take them out. But he left Quick out there, and he got rewarded today, because then that's when Quick got hot, made those 3 threes in a row. Because look, he went 4 for 8, but he made 3 in a row.
But
3
let me
in a
ask
row.
you, who if he took Quick out, who would he put in?
That's what I'm saying.
RJ set the whole fourth quarter. RJ wasn't having a bad game. He didn't play. He didn't play. He could have put RJ back in for Quick, but he really liked Quick in that situation. That's just showing the confidence from Tibbs. And if he gets Tibbs' confidence, man, that is.
It seems like Tibbs has to sit somebody for the whole fourth quarter every game. It's just somebody got to sit the whole fourth quarter.
But think about it. Would you rather have Quick out there in the fourth, or would you have RJ if you had to pick?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I
like
that he left them in there.
I'd rather have them both, but like Quick, you got to have Quick out there more often than not because he's a shooter.
Yeah, he's a shooter. But
if he's off, he ain't gonna get you nothing but a deeper hole. So it depends on who's hot.
And we saw that in the Bulls game. He was cold.
And that's the thing. Defensively, he's a active defender. I'll say he's an active defender. Defender. He's an active defender.
No, they be using it like that defender. I've heard that before.
Right, yeah, I've heard it too, Dre. But it's sometimes he gambles a little bit too much. You know what I mean? And that's just my problem with Quick is he'll gamble on in the passing lane, or just in other ways like the take fouls. I cannot stand those fouls at all.
They drive me nuts. I don't know.
It drives me nuts.
Okay, Mike Breens, a bunch of Mike Breens in here.
Yo, it's so annoying though. It's annoying because a lot of times it's like, yo, y'all could have got a steal off that. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, the way I think about it is, you give them an opportunity to set up their offense now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of if they're running on a fast break, unless for sure, it's like you and one other guy, or you and 2 other guys on that fast break. That's on the other team. Yeah, I understand. But a lot of these times, it's like everybody's back, and they're like, I didn't get back, so let me foul this dude real quick. You know what I'm saying? So it's annoying to watch, but I definitely understand that because I used to do it when I was tired. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that. But yeah, other than quickly Obi, he had another Obi game. He had a nice block in there, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Obi's just all over the place, man. He's like a gazelle out there. He's just jumping here, there. Okay.
Let me ask you something. How do you think things would look if the minutes were reversed and Obi had 33, 34 minutes and Julius had 21? Because like you said before, when he benched Julius, first I thought he was out there way too long. And I was afraid that he was just going to get tired on top of just, clogging up the floor or whatever the case. What do you think this would look like for Obi if he got more minutes? Or if he was out, if he shared the floor more? We were down the center, and so they had him running as the 4 and the 5. How would that look? Because like you said, they came back. Our bench is doing well, and then when our bench is doing well, Obi's on the floor, and it's not all Obi. but he moves without the bat. He's not like that spoil dude. Like, this is my team. He's doing what he needs to do to win.
Yeah.
Right. He's playing his position. He's not trying to do too much.
I know you, Rick, and I always talk about Obi, and I think you would see a different side of Obi if he's out there that much. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot. Like Rick says all the time, like he's just so just exciting. He's always active. You know what I'm saying? He's he's even to the point now he's learning how to get in position and grab rebounds. And I was like, I'm like, oh, rebounds, Obi? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because he's active, he jumps a lot, but it's like he's not known as a guy to go get a rebound unless he's like literally like out jumping somebody. Yeah. But he's learning how to box, put a body on a guy, and grab the board, and he likes to run those fast breaks. So he's out of there. But what about y'all? What about y'all? What y'all think?
I mean, for me personally, I would like to see Obi get more minutes because, like you said, he changes the game with different things. He's always cutting and stuff like that. But I mean, you looked at it really depends on matchup. And today with Anthony Davis out there, thankfully Anthony Davis was off. He was off. Davis was off. He was definitely under the weather. He was not aggressive. He was shooting a lot, just fall away shots for no reason. Because he could have dominated Obi. I mean, Obi cannot guard Anthony Davis, and he gave us. He was a liability out there today for sure, Davis, and that allowed us. But I mean, it's tough to say, man. Like Obi's minutes, I think he needs a little more, but it's good right there where it's at because he just changes the game of again playing against bench players and making exciting dunks. I mean, he made a couple big dunks that changed the momentum of the game and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna pass it to Rick. Obi's man's right there. Rick, what you thinking?
I feel like they don't really run plays for him. I feel like when he's scoring, it's because he's putting himself in the position to score. Like when Randall's on the floor, they run plays through him. When Obi's on the floor, they don't run plays through him. So if he gets more minutes, it'll just be more. Depending on who's on the floor, it'll be more
opportunities
for different people to score. So the scoring may not come from Obi, but with Randall off the floor, it's spread out. So I don't know.
What about defensively though? Like defensively, what you think about Obi's defense?
I think it's good, but I think when it comes to like body to body, Randall was in there. Like you saw him getting Melo frustrated, Davis frustrated. I don't think Obi would
Randall was more physical.
Exactly.
For sure.
He's stronger and he's more physical.
He got tech off of Carmelo Anthony, which means he got a free shot at the line. Like you won't see that from Obi. You'll see a foul.
Yeah.
You'll see the other person going to the line, but it's just different.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's an interesting thought for sure because you look at the minutes that he's playing and what he's doing in those minutes, and you put that in a prayer 36. I mean, that could be some numbers. You know what I mean? Like that could be close to 25, 26 points, 8 boards. Yeah. That's some superstar numbers. But at the same time, like he's not playing those minutes. We don't have those sample sizes there. We only have it in the limited minutes. So if you extend those minutes, eventually you're gonna have to look for plays for him, and maybe the offense prepares better for him. Because I do think, like you said, like you have mentioned, about how like the Knicks don't really play for Obi. Obi kind of is the extra. He's the one like getting the extra pass because he's wide open on the other corner, or the alley-oop because they helping and double teaming somebody else. So it's still kind of figuring his niche because I do think he's still learning the game at the same time. Like he's still finding his role on this team, and he's playing it perfectly. But if you the way it's been looking is like, man, if he could play 30 minutes in this league, he's gonna be a problem and that's gonna be soon to come, because he's gonna bulk up. I mean, Anthony Davis, even Melo was boxing him out in the paint. Like it was pretty tough for him down there. I'm pretty sure he could have had some more boards if he was playing his normal position. But since he was playing the 5, he was getting muscled out there. But I love the fact that even times when he's going up for a dunk and he might not be able to make it, he's finishing strong. And I think he did some up and under take there that I was really impressed with how he finished that.
Yeah. Obi's definitely been showing me a lot. I think I really think he has a future that not a lot of people think that he can have. I think he has that there. I think it's just based off of opportunity. If you run, like you said, if you run some offense through him, I don't see how. Number one, I don't see anything he can't do offensively. That's crazy to say, but I can't say that you can't. He shoots threes. He can shoot the midi. He's athletic. He can dunk.
Let me tell you something.
He can make layups.
The threes is alright though. The threes he don't got.
I mean,
that
he can shoot them. He can shoot them.
Confident enough. You know what I see?
Yeah, he can. But I think it's also based off of his usage. But go ahead, Dre.
He's putting the ball on the floor though. That's what's up.
That too. He can do that too. That's something else. Yeah.
You know what I see from him? When I saw the college when he was still playing, and they were talking about him in the draft, I saw Stoudemire out of him. That's the kind of player I saw.
Right.
But I feel like he could be a combination of a Stoudemire, like the way he dunks and he has that energy. And I feel like he could be like a LaMarcus Aldridge. If he tightens up that post game and that turnaround fadeaway jumper, he could shoot the three from the corner. I feel like something like that, more athletic LaMarcus Aldridge, because he's faster and everything. But that mid range, he could have a dangerous that he could shoot, and he could shoot over people if they put anybody smaller on him. He just needs that confidence to go ahead. I just think he needs the green light. I would love to see what he look like with a green light.
Yeah, Obi definitely needs. It's gonna happen at some point. He's
got a bright future. I love Obi.
He has a bright future. He worked, and it's crazy that we're talking about him like that because beginning of last season that was a completely different tune. It was like everybody was like, we messed up another draft.
But he was like a first.
That's a bust.
Yeah, everybody was saying bust, all that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like
Halliburton.
Halliburton. We could have used them. You could have used them.
But we just need a Randall to get suspended one game. You feel me?
And it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a game where he's gonna be injured or he's gonna be, God forbid, he might twist ankle.
Just, take a day off.
He might take a day off, or he just might rest day, or back-to-back rest. And Obi is going to take full advantage of that opportunity. He's gonna go.
They better not. If that happens,
he's gonna go nuts.
The front office is gonna be looking around again. They're gonna be like,
Julius Randle can't be the star of the team if we wishing that he was not playing. Like, you think the Lakers ever wished LeBron took a night off? Like,
it's not even. I'm just
even about Julius. It's for Obi. It's about Obi.
The tough thing about Obi, I think he's got untapped potential. I just think that the ceiling is super high for him, but he's playing behind our number one guy. And I honestly thought before the season started, I thought that Kemba was gonna come in and claim the throne. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Damn.
You and the rest of New York, and that's why Julius Randle was pissed off.
Pissed off about what? I mean, you still gotta play the game. Yeah, but you still gotta play the game.
Like, clearly, look, and this is why he's probably like, I don't know, yo, like.
And not even from a standpoint of being like razzle dazzle or nothing like that. I just thought that he was gonna hold the fort, but it don't even look like the coach want that to happen.
Who?
He didn't even want that from the rip. And I honestly feel, but Kemba. I honestly feel like Kemba was the guy like New Yorkers like, but I don't think for 1 second Tom Thibodeau wanted Kemba Walker. I think he's playing nice. I think that's not the guy he wanted. He said he wanted Alfred Payton back.
Oh my God!
Did he say that?
That's what he said. With the article I read, he didn't want him to leave.
Okay.
He wanted to.
That was an article from Berman. All right. I mean, he's connected, but we gotta take that with a grain of salt. I don't remember,
but knowing him, he wanted that defense. So he don't want, and it's not that he didn't want Kemba. He wanted somebody who could play defense.
I mean, I don't think so because he benched him late last year.
He's always benching Kemba though, bro.
But he benched Payton. Like Payton was not even playing in the playoffs. Like it got that bad.
That was in the playoffs. It took the playoffs for him to do, which was a bad move because the playoffs is not the time to switch it up.
Wait, so he sat him. He sat him for the rest during the play after the first game. He sat him right.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't touch the floor again.
That was it. But
what
I'm saying is
he didn't want him to leave.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm like, what are we talking about?
You know what? New York fans, they pressure these teams to do certain things.
That's true.
Because I know Thibodeau, he was listening to our show the other day, and we were saying, "Yo, we need to see the young guys." And guess what? The very next day, he started playing the young guys. Yes
Grimes played 4 minutes today.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the other game,
that was nice to see.
Grimes and Sims played.
But you see, on the against the Bulls, he put him out there in a situation for defense.
Yes,
which is what I was saying. He need to put the young kids out there for defense. You can't have Kemba out there. It's too much of a liability.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw Grimes go out there. You see him out there. He throwing shit like this.
Yeah, he's always tucking his jersey. It's like every time he leaves the floor, he pulls his jersey down.
And he go back in. He like, and then I'm looking. I'm like, oh, he about to go off. And I look at the shot clock, and it's like he got like 7 seconds.
I was dying for him to just let it fly. He would touch the ball mad far in the key. I'm like, shoot it.
I mean, he did his job though. He elbowed Russell Westbrook in the face, gave him a nice one to the face.
I mean, listen, we can't blame it on him, but when he got out the game, that's when the Lakers went on a 21-2 run. His perimeter defense is pretty good. I mean, that's somebody I would love to see get more minutes. Grimes.
Who's this?
Grimes. I'm telling you, and I said that earlier in the season. Grimes, I really, really like Grimes, bro, because he's a great defensive player. That's a shooter, kind of like a Klay Thompson kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want him to trust him with a lot of playmaking.
Yeah,
he can do it, but you don't want to trust him with a lot of playmaking. But at the same time, he's someone who can, dish it off and make the right pass. He's someone who can make the right shot. And then he's gonna go on the other side and lock up. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how, and I'm sure Tibbs is itching to play these guys. I'm sure, like as much defense as Grimes, and I guarantee you in practice, Grimes and McBride are tearing these dudes up. They're tearing these dudes up every practice. I promise you, they're tearing them up. And Tibbs is just drooling, but he can't play him.
Yeah,
he just can't play him. You know what I'm saying? He can't play him. So
I would love to see Grimes play more, especially because Kemba, he's been our point guard, but the team at the same time, like that starting five, there's a bunch of guys that could put the ball on the floor, could create their own shot, could play, make a little bit of everything. So taking Kemba, or at least playing him a little less, giving some of that minutes to Grimes, that's just gonna be specializing on defending the best player, kind of giving a little breather to RJ too, because at the same time, like RJ wasn't really the superstar stopper last year as in our team. That wasn't his role, but it seems like that's been his role this year. So it's gonna be tough for him to balance that and give us, some on the offensive end. So you got to give him a little break, give Grimes some minutes, play a little defense.
What are you gonna lose?
Look at what Kemba scored tonight.
Look what Kemba scored tonight.
He played 23 minutes tonight, I think.
He scored 6 points. You telling me Grimes can't do that?
I mean, it just depends the matchup as well. But like, let's say a team like the Pacers, man. I know Kemba did well. Well, he did decent, but he got taken advantage of. Brogdon was taking into the paint.
Exactly.
So
he was going crazy on him.
Last game, I mean, Lonzo, different conversation. Then it's like not playing Kemba at all. Then
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think the Kemba, and this is kind of what makes the situation tough. They signed Kemba on some. We need to sign a guard this season, and that's our best opportunity. I don't think they went out and sought after Kemba. They was like, "Yo, who's the cheapest guard with some experience we can get in here?"
And it just so happens he got bought out.
He got bought out.
Then it was only Schroeder and Reggie Jackson left. And they didn't want to touch none of them.
That's what I'm saying. They could have went and got Schroeder.
They could have went with Schroeder. I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't.
It was a
you see the way he's playing right now. I wouldn't be.
I probably would have taken Reggie before I take Schroeder.
I'd take either one of them over Kemba. You know what I'm saying? Like that's,
hold on. You was feeling like that before, or you saying like now?
After seeing what I'm seeing, because it's hard for him to play defensively. It's like, what lineup works with Kemba in it defensively?
Zero.
None of them. You got to throw him in there when we already up 20. Maybe he might start dropping.
He might catch a couple charges.
And I mean, right. And everyone's on it now. They're like, all right, we're not calling that no more, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, we're done calling these charges for you, bro. We know what you're doing. You're a little rabbit out there, so you can get there quicker than them. And that's not what happened. We're not calling that. And it's he's making it's to me, it's just weird because it's like there's a few shots that are just makeable. These are the shots that Kemba hit on us year after year after year, and he's open at mid range and he's just missing them.
I mean, some nights he has a good night. Some nights he's knocking it down. It's the defensive end where it's really, he gets these turnovers. Like today, he had the dude, he's stealing the rock from him.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean,
it
was Avery Bradley. It was Avery Bradley.
I mean, it is Avery Bradley. Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Washed Avery Bradley. He's not like he was before.
I mean, he had a good game though.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Avery Bradley's on the mission this year because he was at the Warriors training camp and he got cut. And then I think the Lakers picked him up and now he's
back up.
He's on a mission. Let me
he's
see.
on a mission.
Pull up his stats. Let me see.
No, I mean, because he said, what did he say? He said, I'm the best defender in the league. He's like, I'm the best defender in the league or something like that.
Who said that? Avery Bradley said that?
I think he said that. He's like, I'm the best defender.
Against the Pistons last game, he had a whopping 0 points on
0 points.
26 minutes.
He's out there to just hound.
He's on a mission right now.
He's on defense, man. Well, he's just trying to prove that he can still play defense. That's one thing that he can do. Stick to that. I mean, he did hit a few shots tonight that was annoying to watch. He only what do you only have tonight?
Yeah, 15.
He had
15. Damn, of course he would have 15 against us. That's at 15 and 9 rebounds.
Knicks perimeter defense, man. I mean, I don't really know.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, what are you guys seeing as far as the perimeter defense? Like, why is it so bad? I know I could see the collapsing. I don't know why we collapse on every single body.
What I say every night.
No, seriously.
Everybody helping.
No matter who drives in, it could be Grayson Allen, Cunnington, Maxey. Like, I get it with Giannis and Embiid, but not with those guys. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, because the inside shots they can hurt you worse than the 3-pointers, right? No, that don't make sense. Like they play defense backwards.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately that's Tibbs' strategy, but the effort on trying to recover is what I see as awful. It's been a huge problem.
I mean, it's because we don't have those guys to recover. Like Fournier is not that fast on his feet. Kemba, we talked about it. He's and quick is quick, but he's just quick is quick, but he's just like Apollo said it earlier, he's like a pest. He's an active defender, but like, you feel me, he lacks size like that. It's not that physical or anything like that. So it's been bad, man, and I don't see it being corrected at all. I mean, today we saw another bad performance there from the 3 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about this game. Even though we won, I'm still not happy with.
Wow.
I'm not trying to be that Knicks fan, but I'm gonna be that Knicks fan. I think they got lucky.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
A win is a win. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. 3-14 from Melo ain't gonna always happen. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't shoot well. I think we've been getting lucky with that. But I do think whatever it is that they have been dealing with, that they're working through it, because there's something happened. Like, I don't care what you tell me. Like that game against Houston, I'm watching it, and they put Julius back in at the end of the game, and he just was running the offense and passing it. He was going like,
not even looking at the rim.
Yeah, I'm like, he's going left and right. I'm like, bro, what the rim is that way, bro. Yeah, and he does it mainly when it's not a team that you have to worry about. I knew he was going to show up for tonight's game. I knew he was going to show up for the Bulls game.
Yeah, early he was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I want to see you do that every single night. If you're the leader and you want these guys to fall in line, that's just what you have to do. You know what I mean? Man.
The schedule gets tough now, though.
The schedule definitely gets tough. Let me see. Let me pull up the.
Tougher than what we've been dealing with. But I don't think I really hope we take Atlanta out. That's the only team really that I know. Somebody said the Nets. There's a little bit of a city rivalry there, but I'm like, not really. I don't think anybody in the NBA wants the Nets to win.
But it's a tough team to beat.
It's still they're always going to be
I think their next game is against Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't lost. They 12 in a row. They got Brooklyn, Hawks. It gets tough, man. Yes, I don't know off the top of my head the games coming up.
Is
you got it right here. I got it. Yeah, it's
Oh, come on. That's a tough schedule right
come
there.
On, that's a tough schedule.
Boy, we got Phoenix. You know, this ain't looking good, Paul. We got
this ain't looking good.
Atlanta, we got the Nets. We got
the
Chicago
Spurs.
again.
You gotta respect them.
You know
the
what I mean?
You gotta respect them.
We're gonna beat Chicago.
I hope we said that last time.
We got Denver.
Oh man.
We beat Chicago already. Right now, we tied up this
we tied up. Yeah, I think we're gonna beat them.
Well, we played them well too.
We're gonna beat them.
And we played them close.
Yeah, we're gonna beat them.
The Nets, we gotta come off with that right there.
We gotta beat the Nets. We have to beat that. I don't care what the reason is or whatever. Like that game has to. We gotta win that game.
Didn't the Pistons just beat the Nets?
Win that game. I wouldn't be surprised.
The Pistons was bleeding.
Yo, all right, so
that was the Lakers.
That clearly, first of all, shout out to my man. What's his name? Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah.
Shout out to Isaiah Stewart for getting us a win tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Isaiah.
Six win of the year.
You that guy.
He was tripping a little bit, but
he was wilding.
I mean,
I didn't think it was gonna happen.
You don't ever like Gilbert Arenas said. You don't run at the king.
Like they ain't gonna do nothing to him. They ain't not gonna do nothing to him.
I mean, only because LeBron was willing to apologize. If LeBron felt any kind of way about what happened, I promise you, like they would.
If LeBron was on the phone like this, yo, I ain't had.
Yeah. Like I ain't with it. Like yo, this dude right here, he's bugging. Because if you look at it, there was one of the times where he broke loose to go at him, and LeBron was already talking to the ref. He was like, hey, look at him. You should see it. He's like, look at him. And I'm like, damn, bro, like that don't look good. But I mean, you hit me on the court, and I noticed that I'm leaking like that. I don't know if I'm be able to chill neither.
But here's the thing. Like you saw LeBron, he did the elbow on purpose, but he thought he was leaning. He was leaning on him, so he was doing the get off me. The dude was lower than he thought, and he caught him in the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he ain't do that shit on purpose. It ain't.
He didn't want to hit him in the face.
He was just trying to hit his arm off, like, yo, get off me.
That was LeBron's second ejection of his 19-year career. Wow. 19 years. That man was not trying to hit him in the face.
He know that. And he's not. But homeboy went crazy. Because
homeboy apparently was about that life, I guess.
Yo, I'm bleeding, and I told you that. I think you know that story about this dude. I punched him in the nose. My sister our sister had somebody over. I punched this big dude in his nose, and he was like, "Yo, shorty, if I start bleeding, I'm gonna f you up." And then,
I don't remember that story. That's crazy.
Nah, it's mad old. It's mad. This is way back.
This is before you was born, bro.
Probably, because I was mad young.
Nah.
Yeah. It had.
He was 9.
I was 9, I think. And hold on, who's your name? 14. So the dude was older than her.
So you was just punching dudes at 9 years old.
Bro, thank God he was born. Thank God he was born, Apollo.
I had the right big brother with me.
Yo, Cat, let me tell you what happened though. The dude was some tall dude, right? And you would see him around the block. And so Janae had a friend that I had the mean crush on. Right? So she's sitting over there, she mad quiet. And then he kept cracking jokes on me. He was like, yo, shorty, shut up, shorty. And so I was like, yo, this dude keep embarrassing me in front. I sat on the coffee table because he was sitting on the couch. I sat in the coffee table. So I'm straddling the coffee table. So now I'm waiting for him to crack one more joke. And I'm sitting there like this.
I'm waiting for him to crack one more joke.
I'm like, it's coming. I'm going to just deck him next time he says something, right? Yo, the dude had to be 6'3" or something, but he was sitting on the couch. But he was tall enough. You know when dudes tall, their knees be all the way up here when they sit there. So I was sitting up there and I was like, yo. Right? So he said something. I just jumped up. And it was like mad quiet. Like Janae and her friend was like, they was like, oh, snap. And he was like, all right, shorty. He said, I'll tell you one thing. He said, if I start bleeding, I'm going to fuck you up. I was like, you know how it is. I'm over there like this. You better not say nothing. Yo, he went like this. And a drop of blood came out. It was like pandemonium, and they was like, "Get him out of here!" But it was like, once you see the blood,
yeah.
And I'm sure you
all right, cool.
I'm sure you went to school like y'all make this grown ass man.
Yo,
I mean, bleed yesterday. I punched him right in the face.
That was
Bro,
like
he's telling the story 30 years later. He still feeling the same.
You know, he was telling that at school the next day.
Yo, Cat, I was fighting every day at school. It was ridiculous. I felt mad confident. I don't know what, like, think about it. I was mad young, like 10 or something like that.
That's funny. That's a funny ass story.
Dre is funny. He was
The
funny.
homeboy
Man.
with the blood. Yo, he was looking for me in the street. We was running in and out of stores.
Oh man.
I don't remember this story. This is crazy.
I don't even. Either you wasn't
I
there.
probably wasn't there, but I don't know.
You was mad. Either you wasn't there.
9 years old.
I was like 10.
And you said the dude was 6'3", man. I don't know. There's holes in this
He was
story.
sitting
Right
down. That's why I was like,
he was still sitting on the.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was sitting down.
I never met a 12-year-old that's 6'3". I don't know, man.
No. He was older. My sister was 4 years older than me, and he was like older than her.
Yeah.
Rumor has it he's still looking for you to this day.
Rumor has it he's still running in the bodega looking for you.
I was walking down the block, and it was like a while after that. I was walking down the block, and I was like this. I looked up, and I saw him. I was like, yo, and I remember because I was like, yo, I don't know. I was like, I can't run. I could never run, right?
Yeah, you ain't gonna run.
I looked up. I was like, and he looked at me like, yeah, I saw you get scared. He was like, you got it. He was like I got like you ain't even worth. Because how you gonna be in the middle of the street beating up a kid? They gonna be like, what happened? What are you gonna tell him? Like a 10-year-old punched him in the nose? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Imagine that. Like you beat him up. Like he beat you up. And I was like, yo, why'd you do that? Yo, he punched me, made me bleed.
Yo,
like,
he punched me. No, I started bleeding. They were like, this kid?
Little kid made you bleed?
Yo, I got dumb scared when I.
You must have earned it, like for sure. He definitely earned it.
Yeah.
But so yeah.
Back to the show. My bad.
Back to the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, back to the
schedule.
So who we beating then? Who we beating?
Phoenix. You know they show up for the big game.
Let's see if we could get it collectively right now. I mean, are we gonna be Phoenix? Are we gonna be Phoenix?
Is everybody healthy?
Nah.
Nobody's playing tomorrow. Oh no, tomorrow's not Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving everybody's.
Nobody get no game.
Is Mitch still in?
Nah, we're not.
Those new jerseys we had on the night though was dope.
Fire. The city edition jerseys is fire. I'm definitely getting one of them. I was gonna get a Kimber one. I almost got a Kimber one.
Almost. Thankfully not.
Yeah, you're gonna be wearing it longer than Kimber.
Right.
That shit is slow.
That's why I was like, matter of fact, I should get it because it might sell for a good money. Ain't gonna beat that many.
We beat in Atlanta.
They were just
in Atlanta though.
I didn't love them.
We're not beating Phoenix, and I'm gonna say why. We're beating them because we're playing them at home, and for some reason, whenever there's a star that plays in the Garden, they go crazy.
They go crazy.
Is Mitch back? Will he be back for that game?
He's a game time decision. Right? He should be. He's a game time decision for that.
It's like a week.
Triple M, what you got? Because whatever you get, whatever you call, I want 40 push-ups. If it don't go, you
nah, man.
I want 40 push-ups.
You owe me 40. I mean,
I
we gotta see.
40 yet. He ain't get 40 yet.
You owe me 30 because he had 36.
It's 40. He got to get 40. I give you 40.
Let's see, man. Think about it. We got a few minutes in the show left. Let's think about a bet that we can make.
Whatever you think. If it don't go the way you say, you giving me 40, man.
Everybody, if you're confused, the last time we had these guys on the show, Dre said the day RJ Barrett scores 40 points, I'll be here. I'll do 40 push-ups live.
Straight.
So Triple M is not gonna let him forget that. You know what I'm saying? At all. You know what I mean? RJ might have a 40-point game versus 40-point jump versus Phoenix on Friday.
RJ ain't having no 40-point game.
Yo, and so you have to go 40 straight. And it was 40 straight. And it was 40 straight.
And
it was 40 straight. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know about 40 straight.
Come on, you gotta bust them out. You gotta bust them out.
You got to,
yo, Dre, you was doing push-ups all the time in the house when we was growing up. Don't tell me.
Yeah, when we was growing up, bro. Look, I got belly fat now. That shit.
I got belly fat. Yo,
I told him he gotta get.
Yo, Will Smith is 50 plus. He out there doing mad push-ups. Like I don't hear nothing.
Get out of here.
I'll give you 2 days to train. You feel me? Hit that.
I'll work on it first.
All right, so Atlanta.
We winning that one. We winning that.
We winning? Okay. That's a
back-to-back too. Oh, that changed.
In Atlanta too.
Nah, we beating them.
We beating them. But I'm just thinking about who's going to play versus who's because somebody's gonna sit.
Kimber's gonna send. That's gonna be beneficial for us right there.
Somebody gonna sit.
He
needs to sit.
Who's guarding?
Hold on. What y'all think? What we need to do with Kemba? What y'all think?
Damn, man, it's so
Kemba
early.
It's a temporary thing right now, still, but
I'll tell you
the verdict is still out.
I'll tell you exactly what to do.
The verdict is still out.
What? Well, go ahead, Ricky.
You play him the first 6 minutes, and then sit him. Play him the first 6 minutes of the second half,
and then sit him.
That's
what they
do. That's it. And then after, we're not paying him a fortune.
First 3 minutes in the fourth quarter,
and every time anything longer than 6 minutes, he doesn't do anything. So
and if things go good, put him back in.
Yeah, give him a few more minutes, and then when he cools off, set him.
And then
it's just tough, bro. It's pretty demoralizing for a guy that
that's what I'm saying. Like you got him,
20-point scorer, just to.
He's not in his prime. He knows what time it is.
Nah, he's not. But I'm pretty sure he still thinks he's a valuable piece that he can still produce in this league.
For 6
minutes. I mean, he's as a 6 man. Like I say all the time, we have 2 backup point guards as a
one is playing, one is starting.
Diamond point guards, and it's. Did I glitch out?
Yeah. You got about it.
I did. Yeah. We have 2 backup. Sorry, I'll start it again. We have 2 backup point guards as our main 2 point guards, and I think there has to be something that happens there. You know what I mean? And Kemba, he's still a starter technically, but the thing about Kemba is just that he can't defend, and he's not going to get any minutes in Tom Thibodeau's offense consistently if you're not going to defend, especially when they're going after you on the defense. And it's painfully obvious that you just can't do anything. I forgot who we played the other game. I forgot who we played. It doesn't matter who we play because it happens every game. They just walk right by him, and then he does this shit where he just puts his hand on their back as they're going up. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? At this point, I'd rather you just foul him. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're going to give him 2 points anyway. Like, so I don't know. I don't know what you do with Kemba. I liked Kemba. I still do like Kemba. It's just he's not in the role to be successful right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we 18 games in, man, 10-8.
Yeah,
we're not even at the quarter. We're not even at the quarter. But it's like you look at it and it's like, damn, like look at this tough schedule that we're gonna see. Like we're all in agreement that this is gonna be very tough, but it wouldn't be this bad if we didn't lose 2 games to Orlando or a game against Toronto that we should have won.
Man, they play around with those games.
So it's like you have to do something quick because the season could go awry quick, man. That's like if they lose 6 in a row, which we hope we don't happen, but it can happen. If they lose 6 in a row, then we in here looking 10-14. I mean, it just gets bad quick. Like,
that's a fact. I mean, and then if we get hot, last year we got like a 9-game winning streak, and sometimes it takes a couple games to put in line and work out in our favor. I mean, this schedule clearly is not in our favor, but if we could play well here down this stretch, gain some confidence, because I think that's another thing too. Like we've been playing against some teams that I think we should be winning,
right?
But
we play down.
The guys been playing like they can't build off of it. They starting slow. Or they have one quarter, but then the rest of the way they just bum it out. Like there's nothing to build and take over to the next game to feel good. Every game I'm just uncertain, but yet we see the same script and it's like, fuck, dude. Today again, the same thing.
Really annoying.
Same thing. They go up by however much, and then all of a sudden it's like, here we go again.
You want to see this though. You want to see them get battle tested now. It's
and win
matchup. It's gonna be some good matchup.
Yeah.
Rematch.
You say matchups, and I think that's a big. I don't know if the coach knows how to match the players up with the teams. Like I think he's just like, you know what? I want to play A, B, and C. I'm gonna play them regardless of what's going on out there, and I think that puts the Knicks at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, there's no debate there. No debate there.
We've always questioned his adjustments, especially in game. He makes good game to game adjustments, but like in the game, it's like, all right, bro, you need to take so and so out of the game. He's like, nah, I'm gonna rock with him. We lose, like him. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna rock with him. But
sometimes I'm like, yo, it's time for a timeout, and then I don't hear a timeout for like another 2 or 3 plays. I'm just like,
and now we're down by 7. We was up by 3. It's like, yo, you could have called that timeout a little bit quicker than
sure.
that.
I mean, we saw that with the Bulls, man. It was just like giving it to Randall, and then like Rick said, just plain kick it out, pass it back to Randall, and then he just throws it on the other side of the court, and there's 2 seconds left, and Quick got to throw it up there. Like, you know, it's gonna be fire, man. We're gonna see.
It's not a good possession, but
a lot of one and dones.
I'll say 4-2 out of these 6 right here, though.
Oh, optimistic Apollo right here. That's
4-2. We're definitely not beating Phoenix at home or the Nuggets at home. That's just not gonna happen. For some reason, we can't ever beat the damn Nuggets.
Seriously,
I don't know why we can't beat them, and it's just because when you play someone with such a high IQ like Jokic, it just really shows you, and that's the game I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna see, all right, how good is our team for real?
There's no matchup for him.
Yeah, there's no matchup for him, and it's just like he just cuts us apart every single time. Every single time, it's like he does everything, and he's 7 foot. You know what I'm saying? So
he used to cook KP when KP was here.
He used to cook the hell out of KP. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. Guys, I think at some point people were saying that KP was better than him. He was not feeling that. He was not feeling that at all. But yeah, Phoenix and the Nuggets. I think we can beat the Hawks. I think we can beat Brooklyn.
Damn.
I think we
at Brooklyn. Well,
at Brooklyn,
New York.
We gonna
home game regardless.
Yeah. It's still a home game. The Bulls. I think we want a little bit of payback. We also have their number in a way. You know what I'm saying? I think we match up well. They've been killing everybody else, but whenever they play us, it's kind of like a battle. It's a struggle every single time. Like the first time they beat us, we barely got out of that. Like, you know, that was a if RJ didn't play good defense on that pull up from DeRozan, that might be a loss. Yeah, so you know that's that. But in San Antonio, San Antonio's they're just coasting at this point. You know what I'm saying?
At San Antonio though, it's
at San Antonio. At San Antonio, I just hope that Julius shows up that game because he likes to not show up sometimes.
That's an optimistic point too.
Yeah. So that's it. 4-2 for me. You say 3-3?
Yeah.
Who's the 3 you gonna lose?
I think they're gonna find a way to lose to the Spurs.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're 4-12, so we like to get, be charitable, help out the teams on the lower end.
Yep, love doing that.
I think we're gonna we're gonna sneak away with the win with the Nets. I think it's gonna be, it's gonna look like a blowout, and then we're gonna figure it out. The Bulls, we have to beat them. I don't think we're gonna win to the Nuggets, and I think it's it's a prayer for us to beat the Suns. So I'm gonna say a loss there. So that's the 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody forgets that the Suns were in the finals last year.
Now they hot. They won 12 in a row, man. They on fire.
And again, a match.
So can we go straight to Saturday? Go straight to Saturday.
Just rest everybody, right?
Just rest everybody. Yeah, we're gonna forfeit that game. Dre, what you got for these 6?
3 and 3.
3-3. Who's the 3 you think is gonna win and lose?
I think we're gonna lose to Phoenix. I think we're gonna lose to the Nets, and I think we're gonna lose to Denver.
Okay. If we lose to the Nets, Knicks Twitter is gonna go crazy. Actually, either they're gonna go crazy or they're gonna quiet.
Yeah,
it's one, and then for a fact that the Nets is gonna do their typical bing bong tweet.
Like everybody else. Now we gotta be Brooklyn.
I would love for them to do. I would love for them to be 6-0, of course, like any of us would.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm afraid if we go through the stretch and do too well, it's gonna send mixed signals about what we need to do with this line.
That's another point. Man. That's another point because you don't want them to get comfortable because of a good streak. You know what I'm saying? Because then once everything settles, once the dust settles, like, all right, wait, so this is who you really are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we got if coach don't fix these lineups and start one of the rookies and start quickly or something, I think it's gonna this bench should be starting. That's what it looks like right now. They're never going to do that, of course, but that's how it's looking. And I was saying before, we already knew this, that the bench is the X factor every game. A lot of teams have a nice starting 5, but they don't have a bench. Right. We could outscore any bench in this league.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But our starters look so bad sometimes. They be having -12s, -10s, -8 on the plus minus.
Yeah, I saw -20 the other day.
You know, and then even the night like tonight with Julius, like, you know, he's motivated. You can see he wants to win, and he just going in. He's doing too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like maybe we need these games though. We need games like these that we have Julius a more aggressive Julius instead of like Draymond-esque Julius, so to say. You know, like come on, bro. Like that's not what you signed up for this team. I get it. I think that's the thing too. Like I think he's probably just focused on being a facilitator. Like I remember this one time they were talking about Kobe, like, oh, he doesn't pass the ball or whatnot, and then I think it was
but he scores
in the playoffs that he just took off and was like, nah, I'm gonna just pass and forgot about scoring. This is pretty much what Julius has been doing. He saw that people were talking like, oh, he got a pass and whatnot, but I don't know, man. Clearly, being aggressive is working, and hopefully,
that's what they need.
With this stretch right here, he's gonna prove why he was the second team, why he won Most Improved, and deservedly got that contract to be our guy.
Yeah, Julius, he did a couple things this game that kind of bugged me out. Like the only one that really bothered me was when it was, and I'm sure you guys, if you were watching, you know exactly what play I'm talking about. I think he grabbed the rebound and he's going up the court and he got Anthony Davis on his hip and he just kept like making sure he stayed on his hip the whole way up the court.
And then what was it? Was it a turnover or something?
And then he tried to throw a pass to a lob to Nerlens, and then it slipped out his hand. No, it was a bad pass. It slipped. If you look at the play in slow motion, like the ball was like he was throwing it off of his wrist. And I'm like, what is going on with this?
For sure. And then he got a technical.
Then he was he on the bench?
Yeah, that was on the bench too. That was tough in a tough situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we were pretty much losing the lead right there.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
Bad tech.
He's got to be better. And Julius does own it. He does own it. Usually he owns it once he messes up and he sees that everybody saw that he messes up. He's all right. I gotta go say something. So he owns up to it.
But you know what I don't like? That even when I was playing ball, and you got that dude that does something stupid, he'd be like, "My bad, my bad." He'd be like, "Shut up! I know it's your bad." Like, you know what I mean? How many times you going?
Like, but it's
I was definitely my bad, dude. I'm like, oh, my bad, bro.
It's
and then the next play, I'm gonna take the same shot that I took the last. That's what my people hated playing with me. They're like, yo, he's saying my bad, but he J.R. Smith. He gonna take it every time.
I hated playing. I remember when I had the membership. What's that? 24-hour fitness. Me and Anthony. And we went down there. This was in Long Island. We were playing out there, and there's this dude. This dude could shoot. But it was just like he was out there. It was like 1-on-5, and I'm on this dude team. I start. You know how you stop running? It's like this dude's gonna go over there. He gonna shoot from everywhere. Like that's all he want to do.
Once your teammates stop running, it's over. The game's over.
Yeah, it's a wrap. I'm standing there like he gonna shoot. You know, I don't even want the ball no more. Go ahead. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's different if you're like in a Kobe situation, because it's like if you had an open run, you can say that. Like, all right, go ahead, run. But if you was on a team with Kobe and y'all was paid to play together and win, like Kobe's gonna curse you the hell out, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? You just have to deal with it. Like, yo, get your ass up this court, bro. You gonna come over here and stand in that corner while I take this shot. And that's exactly what they do. 5 rings. But that's all I got, man. I don't want to push this one out too long. But any last words from you guys?
Yeah, for sure, man. You already know. Thanks for having us on. Always fun talking to my guy, Paolo, Dre, and Rick for the first time, you know. And definitely got to jump on Knicks Fans Wild, and we got to do another show soon. So season is good, man. 10-8. We got a 6-game gauntlet coming up, so we definitely gonna chop it up with all of y'all. You already know, man. Great show as always, fellas. Had a lot of fun today for sure.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you for having us. Don Juan here. Make sure to follow us on Knicks Fans Wild too, man. Appreciate your support. Actually gonna we're planning to give away at 100 subscribers. So if you know your followers out there, you know, show our support us too. You know, us Knicks fans, we stick together. We always love talking Knicks, and here we are tonight after not so pleasant game, but we won nonetheless.
W is a W. A W is a W, fellas.
But we over here scratching almost 12 a.m. still talking Knicks, and that's how you know we love and we're passionate about what we do here. So
That's fact.
Thank you guys for having us again, and I can't wait to do it again, man.
Appreciate you, man. I was just saying the other day, I said it would be amazing to be a Knicks fan, but live in Cali. Like, yo, I could do these podcasts all night. Like, I wouldn't have to worry about this at all. But
That's a fact.
I'm glad to be out in New York, though. I'm in New York on the East Coast.
Stop capping, man. Stop fake capping out here.
Nah, man. No, I'm not in New York anymore. But my family is in New York.
Yes,
Andre Jalil and Rick DeRuler. Speaking of you two, do you guys have anything you'd like to say? What you guys say? Is it over here? Yeah, these guys over here and over here. Yeah. What you guys any last words?
No, good, man. Good show, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come out of there with 6 wins in a row. That's how we're going to do.
Jay, we don't understand that. That's what does it to us. That does it to us every time.
Nah, 3-3. Come on, stop playing 3-3.
All right. Now because Dre said we're gonna do 3-3.
Stop that! Don't try to put that on.
No. Because Dre said 3-3, we're gonna go 4-2 now.
So
I'll take it.
All right, so all that 3-3 then.
Yeah.
Dre dying for a trade. He dying for a trade. He wants us to go 1-5.
He already dreaming. Look at him.
He like, yo,
he's like, oh man.
I see it right now. I hear it. I hear the Damian Lillard thoughts running through his head.
Man.
Running rampant.
He already hearing the bang.
Not
Look at man.
But listen, man, that's all we got. I'm gonna put you guys in the backstage, but that's all we got, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to the God of Knicks podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed, and until next time, you have a good one. Peace.